So I've been hearing about this movie for years. I'm like, okay, what is this one about? What exactly does this adaptation of a Stephen King book, like, what does it hold? What is this about? It's like I'm always wondering what exactly is Graveyard Shift about. I'm like, okay, Graveyard Shift, of course, referring to the nighttime shift when things are usually pretty dead. I'll go graveyard, excuse me. And then I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I've heard about this. Watch this. Give it a watch. I'm like, all right. Workers clock in for their shift and clock out for good. And the horror master Stephen King comes in his most terror-filled tale yet. Gates Fall, Maine. When an abandoned textile mill is reopened, several employees meet mysterious deaths. The link between the killings all occurred between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m., the graveyard shift. The sadistic mill foreman, Stephen Mott, has chosen a group to clean up the mill's rat-infested basement. But what the workers find is a subterranean maze of tunnels leading to the cemetery, and an unimaginable horror that comes alive in the dead of night. This is a 1990, 88-minute film that's, of course, in color. And it is directed by Ralph S. Singleton and stars, let's see, David Andrews, Kelly Wolf, Stephen Mott, and Brad Dourif. I recognize the name. Anyway, this one has, it's received a lot of negative attention over the years because it's like, it even holds, what was that? A rare 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. All right, this one's both good and bad. All right, let's get the good out. All right, let's get the good. Claustrophobia is the name of the game. It takes place in this Bachman textile mill. And, yeah, everything is tense because camera filters zooming in on certain objects. It is truly a creepy movie. Just atmosphere-wise. Something that is, in my opinion, is lacking from some of the movies nowadays. But just the claustrophobia, just all these small rooms, the close-ups on the actors, and even the diner where they're at, where there's a diner bar. Barner? Anyway, a lot of people in there, and it's a smaller building. Even, so it's like, yeah, you feel clustered with just how much there is in there. It's like, it really is eerie. Just how compact and tight it is in there, and it's just like, you look at it and you're just like, I feel tense. I feel like claustrophobia setting in. It's like it's hard to breathe because when they go down into like a basement to clean everything up, it's just so messy, so dark and dingy. It's just like, yikes. You just look at it and you're like, wow, I can't believe that, and you just feel trapped, and it's like there's just no way out, you know? I mean, it's there, the performances are, the characters actually stand out. I would rather have, like, when the camera zooms in on the actors' faces, you could see, this town is full of assholes. They really are just full of a-holes, all because that some person just walks in, just wants a job, and they treat him like an outcast instead of just being like, all right, we kind of don't trust you, but at the same time, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Just don't be a jerk, okay? Pretty much that. There's the Brad Dourif guy who plays Tucker Cleveland, and he gives one heck of a Jaws-related speech. When he is spraying the mice with, what was that, tracking poison, he's like, and all these mice, it's like, they just see this tracking poisonous water. God damn! Well, that's a phrase right there. I mean, it's so over the top. It's enjoyable, and he's even got a nice dog. there's the owner, Mr. Warwick, who kind of sounds like this. He has a little bit of a southern drawl, but it's very enunciated. It's like, we're gonna clock out permanently. It's like, college boy, something to do with like dodging the Vietnam draft or something. I don't know. But the actor who sounds like this does a darn good job of playing an evil schmuck. I mean, he either pays off the exterminators because there's vermin everywhere, and he just lets the problem continue, not fixing anything. I mean, this is an evil, corrupt person, and it's just like, you just want to see him go. I mean, he cheats on his wife. I mean, this guy is just a scumbag. Not even a likable. He's an over-the-top villainy scumbag. And, these are all like over-the-top cartoon characters. However, I was rambling. There are some things I don't like about this. The content of this movie is paper thin. It's like, there's the story of what is happening in the town down there. What exactly is going on, no one knows. So it's like, there's the exterminator that's always taking care of the mice. And it's like, we don't get any follow-up with that. We get the town that's just full of a-holes. We just get a couple things that, it's like the first 40 minutes, it's all rambling about, yes, there are some kills. Which there are some kills, but again, we get the idea that that Warwick knows that there's something's going on. Ultimately, he does not. And it would have been interesting it would have been one heck of a plot twist if he knew what was going on. And for like the last 40 minutes is going down into the lair of the bat rat, I guess you could call it, some prehistoric creature that just, I guess, exists. It's never explained because it's based off a 1970 short story that was sent to Cavalier magazine. And plus there are some really questionable choices. There's this guy, Brogan, who just plays with, I guess you could describe it, a fire hose, and just randomly shoots at rats, and it's like, this goes on. It was like when they're trying to clean downstairs, there's just several minutes of him just goofing around, just randomly shooting at rats. I'm like, what is this adding to? Nothing. I'm like, you're just being an idiot character in the movie, not the actor. There's some very questionable, like, slow-mo moments of one guy falling into some water. Warwick and the bat rat having a weird clash. I'm like, what is going on here? This is so weird. It's like the questionable montages, slow-mo zoom-ins. I'm like, what is all this? This detracts from what is an actual good claustrophobic movie. And so I have to knock points because it's like, it just looks so cheap and amateurish. It's like, I have to question this. So yeah, I don't know. This one's a mixed bag. I would just call this mediocre. This was made on it was made in like 6 months in order to get it pushed out for Halloween season. Stephen King had no input in this. He called it a quick exploitation picture, I think, in a 2016 interview. And you could tell that this was just made just for the holiday season. I think maybe if it was made for it was meant to be a 60-minute movie where they excise some questionable edits and jump cuts and stuff like that, and it's like cut down on exclude the diner and people being a-holes and just get to the action, this probably would have been a better movie. So I don't know. So if you want a movie that's got good this movie has darn good atmosphere because Ralph S. Singleton was a production unit person, and it shows was his only feature length direct movie he directed. So yeah, atmosphere is good. Performances are surprisingly good. If over the top, cartoony, that you gotta at least enjoy. But when the bad is bad, it's really bad. So I don't know. I say get a couple buddies, get a 12-pack of Hawaiian Punch, lemonade, beer, soda, whatever. Put it on, laugh at some of it, and have a good time. And if that's what you want, then I recommend you watch Stephen King's Graveyard Shift.